Hello and welcome to the Analog Toys collection room. I've been an enthusiastic action figure collector for almost 30 years. I remember the first time I picked up anything as a collector was all the way back in 1993. And I kind of treat this room like a modern art gallery. And within this room you'll find collections of vintage G.I. Joe, Action Man, Masters of the Universe, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Rambo, Evel Knievel, to name but a few. And I want to take you for a tour today. So I'm going to exit stage left, pick up the camera and show you around the collection.
Come with me, toy fans.
So the collection room is on the third floor of a three-story townhouse that me and Gracie live in. And for a long time, this kind of little corner nook here before you go into the main room was empty, but it has since been filled. So I guess this is a good place to start. I have just a portion of my physical media collection there. I'm not going to show you the physical media, but this is basically G.I. Joe, a real American hero corner. So here we've got a couple of the dreadnoughts with a Cobra Asp. I think that's Major Blood inside the Asp. We've got a Ferret and a couple of Vipers. And then the absolutely incredible Cobra Rattler that was donated to the channel some time ago by my buddy Joseph. Hanging on the wall, we have one of the best G.I. Joe vehicles ever made. It's the Sky Striker. If you have one of these in your collection, I highly recommend hanging it from a wall. It displays brilliantly. Moving over here is my kind of favourite era of G.I. Joe. Obviously, I grew up in the UK, so it was Action Force International Heroes, hence the sticker on these two mini play sets here. But we've got Snake Eyes version 2. Flint, Alpine, Crankcase and the Ore Striker, Bazookas at the back there, Lady J, Dusty, Shipwreck, Footloose, Airtight and Quick Kick. And at the back there, a carded Spearhead and Max. Moving down to kind of a Cobra shelf, we've got the Crimson Twins carded and a carded Dr. Mindbender at the back. Then we have the Stinger Jeep with its driver. Couple of Snow Serpents, I love those figures, come with so many accessories. My recent acquisition of a version 1 Storm Shadow, we've got the mail away hooded Cobra Commander there, with Baroness, Destro, Telly Viper, Crimson Guard, Cobra Eels, Cobra Trooper, Firefly and the Cobra Bunker. Moving further down, we have this absolutely amazing donation from Jody of the Cobra Hydrofoil. The only thing missing from this is the lens for the spotlight and the weapon for the pilot. Although I have acquired a weapon, it just hasn't arrived yet. Just need to get the spotlight lens. And down there with a Devilfish being piloted by another Shipwreck action figure. Moving further down again, kind of moving a little bit later into the G.I. Joe line, we've got the Havoc there with Cross Country, Lifeline and Leatherneck. Sneak peek at the back. Sneaking and peeking from the corner. Sergeant Slaughter and his Triple T, we've got Beachhead, Hit and Run, who I just love that figure, and I also love version 2 Storm Shadow, although I do need to acquire a sword to get him complete. And then we have the Snowcat with Frostbite. And down here we've got the beautiful box for the Tomahawk. And speaking of the Tomahawk, I need to get back up again, this is going to hurt my knees I can tell. Well, we've got the Tomahawk up here with a random smattering of other G.I. Joes. So we've got Duke there, Ripcord, Law and Order, and Blowtorch. And they're on top of my Indiana Jones, Kenner Indiana Jones collection cabinet. So we've got the 12-inch doll there, which is a terrible toy. Even if you're an Indiana Jones completist, I wouldn't waste your time getting that. I was so disappointed when I had it in hand. We've got the box for the Map Room playset there with the Cairo Swordsman and Tote. We've got Indiana Jones in German disguise, we've got Belloc, an Action Force German soldier, because I always felt this line needed a German soldier, so I put an Action Force one in there. We've got the German mechanic, we've got the mail away Belloc in ceremonial robe, and the small map room mini play set with Indiana Jones with the headscarf on. Moving down to the next shelf, we've got the box for the Streets of Cairo playset and the complete playset here, alongside the best toy in the line, the Desert Convoy truck. And it's being chased down by Indy on the Arabian horse. And further down again, we've got the Well of the Souls, the box for that, and the gorgeous Well of the Souls playset with Sala and a second Indy. This Indy is in much better condition than this one here on the horse. You can see some paint loss on his hands, but the one down the bottom here is in really good nick. And this is all complete. I think I've actually got extra snakes. It's not just complete, there's extras in there. And then down to a bit of a Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom shelf. So we've got the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom lunchbox and thermos. We've got the 3 complete characters from LJN and a couple of print publications at the back there. Okay, now just before we move around into the main room, I have my Star Wars Black Series Snowspeeder hung on the wall here. It looks fantastic. I really like that piece. Now when we move in, I'll just give you a quick pan around the room. Bit of Masters of the Universe stuff there in the editing suite. But basically you come in and it's a really long room with Action Man cabinets all down one side, and then kind of all sorts of other retro toys down this side. There's my Star Wars collection. As I said, this is where I edit all of the Analog Toys videos. I recently picked up this headphone stand the other day, and this is really good because I can actually sit my iPhone on the front of that, so I can see messages pop up while I'm editing. And above that is a very rare print of the artwork from the box of the SAS Airstrike helicopter from the Action Man line, signed by the original artist Dave Barnacle. So I think we will start with the oldest toys in my collection. We're going to go over here to the Action Man cabinet, the 1960s cabinet. So the bottom shelf is dedicated to G.I. Joe. We'll get to that in a moment. But first of all, let's start up here with the action soldiers. So I've got a complete Action Man combat soldier there. He's got the backpack and all of the accessories. You know, the sleeping bag, the tent, all the poles, the water bottle. He's a fully loaded combat soldier. Next to the communications set soldier with the poncho and the radio. The talking commander. Then we've got the Action Man medic with all his accessories. The rare Action Man heavy weapons. It's got the M60 there with an original bipod, and there's the mortar that goes with it. Then we've got the mine detection and some of those little silver discs you see at the front are the mines that came with that set. Then we've got like the engineer construction crew with the jackhammer and the theodolite, I think they call it. A surveyor's level, we'll just say that. And then here we have a fully loaded G.I. Joe combat soldier. This is the only G.I. Joe that's not down the bottom on the G.I. Joe shelf. I think because I have a G.I. Joe and an Action Man version of the fully loaded combat soldier, I wanted them to kind of bookend this particular shelf. So now we move down to the pilots, of which I did a live stream about these recently. So we've got the crash crew there. We've got a pilot with some communications gear and a life raft. We've got the G.I. Joe fighter pilot, I think it is. That's not complete, and there's a few reproduction parts on that one. This is the G.I. Joe guy at the back, but this was donated to the channel, so I'm very happy with the way that looks. Then we've got the Action Man scramble pilot, the Action Man astronaut, and the landing signal officer, who's part of the sailors. And now we get into this. There's just actually there's another G.I. Joe on an Action Man shelf. That's a G.I. Joe figure, just a very basic soldier with a life preserver on. Then we have the deep sea diver with all of his gear, and the Action Man Navy attack, which comes with the semaphore flags, the 30 caliber machine gun, the blue helmet, and then the sailor with the life ring and parade white rifle. Now we move down to the soldiers of the world, and I have the Action Man Green Beret there, complete with Silver Star medal. And apart from the American Green Beret and the Japanese infantry that you see here, because the Japanese infantry was not released into the Action Man line, all the other figures here, I have got both the Action Man and the G.I. Joe versions. So we've got the Australian Jungle Fighter Action Man G.I. Joe, same with the British Commando, then the Russian infantry. So, and because I've got the two, like the Action Man and the Russian, I've decided to put the Russian with the much rarer cap That came as part of a Quartermaster Stores set. Action Man and G.I. Joe German Stormtrooper, and the French Resistance. Okay, moving further down, bit of an Arctic theme down here. So I've got my 2 ski patrol guys. Again, I think this is an Action Man and a G.I. Joe. So I'll put the Action Man guy on the skis and the G.I. Joe guy in the snowshoes. And then moving around to some of the explorers. I don't remember what this outfit was called. I think this is a combination of pieces, this particular outfit. But then we have the Mountaineer. I've got a carded Mountaineer outfit at the back there. That's not a 60s one. That will be, I'd say, early to mid 70s Mountaineer outfit. Then we have the Polar Explorer, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and obviously the dog sled at the back there with some of the dogs that were sculpted by Bill Pugh. And now down to the G.I. Joe shelf. At the back there you can see a boxed Action Marine and a boxed Action Soldier. I also have over here the boxed Pilot and the boxed Sailor. I would really like to add an African American G.I. Joe soldier to this collection, but they are very rare and very expensive. So the figures I've got down here is the G.I. Joe Shore Patrol, the Armoured Car Commander outfit, the very rare Marine Jungle Fighter set. I particularly like that action figure. We've got the Air Police there, a fully loaded Footlocker, the Military Police. We've got the Action Marine Communications set there with the poncho, the Marine Paratrooper, the Beachhead Assault. He should be holding that flamethrower, but it looks like he's dropped it out of his hand. I'll fix that later. And a fully loaded G.I. Joe Marine Combat. Okay, moving further along. Up here we have the Sportsman. So the Action Man Cricketer and the Olympic Champion, they are 2 exceedingly rare outfits. Actually, so is the Judo. These are all 40th anniversary reproduction outfits on original vintage figures. Then we have the Sharpshooter Football Attachment, which I've got the original box for at the back there, and an Arsenal football player, because Arsenal is my team that I support. Moving down to the famous British uniforms kind of shelf here, we've got the Military Police, we've got the Royal Air Force Ground Crew, we've got the basic Sailor, the boxed figure there, the Royal Marines Mounted and Arctic, Royal Marines Combat. We've got 3 Parachute Regiment guys here, with the one at the back there being a particular favourite because he's got the shock helmet and the parachute pack and all that stuff, which was never sold as a complete outfit. The parachute pack and shock helmet came on a separate accessory card, but it goes, it just fits perfectly with the Parachute Regiment. And here we have the British officer in his dress uniform. And then moving down to one of my favourite shelves in the whole collection, the Ceremonials. So I have 2 of the 17th 21st Lancers here, one on a horse and one kind of standing at attention with his lance. We have a Blues and Royals figure there, a Royal Hussar officer, a Grenadier Guard at the back with a carded outfit. We have the Argyll and Sutherland Highlander, another Blues and Royals, this time with the breastplate armour on the fully decked out ceremonial horse, and then the Lifeguard with his breastplate armour. These figures are just beautiful. They are stunning figures. Okay, moving further along. Apologies for the lighting here. The lights don't work particularly well in this shelf. I've been meaning to replace them for about 2 years and haven't got around to it. But we have here the Secret Mission to Dragon Island with the box at the back. The Jungle Explorer, which was actually part of like the 60s Explorer set, but I didn't want to put him down on the shelf there with all the polar guys because it just didn't look right having a jungle guy with all of these Arctic fellas. The Red Devil Parachutist with an original outfit in the box behind it. A G.I. Joe Land Adventurer that was also donated by my buddy Joseph, and the very rare Action Man Space Explorer. Now down to this shelf, we have here Tom Stone in his original box from the Action Man team. I've got all these boxes on the same shelf here, what we call the, this was the first introduction of the Eagle Eyes on the hybrid body. because I just really like the style of boxes. So I've put all of these box figures on one shelf, surrounded by a reproduction, or not a reproduction. This is a copy of the original sculpted gripping hand made by Bob Breakin. He says to me that he only made like 3 or 4 of these and gave one of these to me when I made my Story of Action Man documentary. So it's a prize piece in the collection. This hand was Bob, when he sculpted it, he modelled it off his own left hand. So yes, Action Man does have Bob Breakin's hands, and the sculpture was made 4 times larger than Action Man's, and then they used a pantographing tool to scale it down. So we have in here the basic soldier, eagle eye, basic sailor, adventurer. There's a helicopter pilot at the back with a G.I. Joe Bullet Man and an Action Man Atomic Man. Coming down here to my kind of German shelf here, we've got the Escape from Colditz set with no less than 3 German stormtroopers. I like to army build German stormtroopers. We've got the British escape officer there, the German camp commandant, a later version German stormtrooper which got a slightly different colour uniform, and the German staff officer. Behind that, an original carded, it's recarded, but it's an original box for the Escape from Colditz escape officer. Now at the back there, we've got the carded German staff officer outfit. It should really go down there with the German staff officer, but there's no room at the back, so I've put it here because it was a Soldiers of the World outfit, and the Australian Jungle Fighter and the French Legionnaire are part of the same kind of set. And then we have the Sabotage Outfit, a British tank commander. We have the Dispatch Rider, the carded outfit, and the dress figure on the motorcycle and sidecar combination, which I have the box for that up the top. The field training exercise, the commando, the medic, and the mine detection. And again, I've got the carded outfit for the mine detection at the back there as well. Now moving down here, this is when we get into like the dynamic physique era, or the blue pants, eagle eyes era, whatever you want to call it. We've got here the British infantry major with one of the book style outfits at the back. The Royal Engineer with the book style outfit at the back. I have got 2 long range desert group uniforms because I really like these. I wanted 2 of them, and with the Lewis gun. Apologies if I got that wrong. Then we have the Afrika Korps Lance Corporal with another Afrika Korps guy riding the German motorcycle and sidecar, and my custom of the German Afrika Korps officer. At the back, a carded or locker box British infantryman uniform. Got carded weapons arsenal there, the NATO night manoeuvres. A later issue German stormtrooper there with the brown webbing but the original uniform. The German paratrooper from the international series that I've decked out with a parachute pack. We have the Panzer captain and the carded outfit for him at the back. And the Luftwaffe pilot, and then the very rare last issue German stormtrooper where the uniform and webbing and everything was different. Now we come down to the emergency series. So I've got the fireman there. I would love to one day acquire the emergency fire tender, but that's a very big vehicle and not cheap to pick up. I've got the carded uniform at the back there. We've got the emergency medic. We have the police motorcyclist with the police motorbike and the box at the back. The underground rescue, a very colourful outfit that I really like. I had it as a child, so I think I've got some kind of nostalgic connection to that. Also a very colourful outfit, the high rescue, and then the highway hazard, and that's kind of the set of the Action Man emergency series. And and I'm missing the crash crew there, which was very kindly donated to the channel by Andy Wooten. And we have the Underwater Explorer and a later issue Deep Sea Diver with a lot of the kind of underwater accessories. Now we get down to the SAS shelf, and here we have the SAS Secret Mission with the box for it at the back. Lots and lots of accessories with this set. Some of the lighting is not great down here. SAS Parachute Attack with the box. The SAS Underwater Attack. That's not an original Frogman suit, that perished. This is a neoprene suit that I picked up from Cotswold Collectibles some time ago. and I highly recommend those as a substitute for the original rubber Frogman suits that perish. We've got the SAS Key Figure there. This one, or both of these guys, I think. Yeah, these actually vary slightly from the boxed figure. This came on the Experts, the green Experts card, which I believe was released before the boxed figure. The boxed figure's got a much improved bulletproof vest. There we've got the SAS Talking Commander with the quite rare officer's cap with SAS badge. Then we have Rom the Space Knight, also donated to the channel by Andy Wooten. Then we have Captain Zargon, and down here 2 resin renderings and a note there from Greg Hughes, the original designer, who sent me these last year. A couple of really prized pieces in my collection. At the back we have the Space Ranger Patroller outfit carded. We have the Zargonite Pirate there behind Captain Zargon, the Talking Space Ranger Commander, the Space Ranger Commando, and then we get on to the special team. So I've got the 3 carded, the 3 figures I've got at the front here are the Ground Assault, the Arctic Assault, and the Underwater Assault. And at the back there is the very rare carded Missile Assault. This is an extremely rare piece to get, and I cherish this even more because it came from the personal collection of Bob Breakin. He didn't gift it to me, I purchased it from him, but he did give me a very good deal on that. Here we've got a basic Eagle Eye Soldier, Royal Marines Mounted in Arctic, the more modern version with the carded outfit at the back. We've got the Battle of Britain Pilot, the Parachute Regiment, the British Infantry. We've got a book-style commando outfit at the back there, a Royal Marine Commando, the United Nations soldier from the Internationals card, which I've accessorised with some white webbing and a few other bits and bobs. The Russian Infantry from the Internationals line, which I have accessorised. And the US Marine, which I have accessorised also. And then a bit of an American corner here. So we've got the United States Marine Corps, the 82nd Airborne Paratrooper, and 2 US machine gunners with a US machine gunner outfit at the back. Okay, that's kind of the extent of the Action Man collection that is in the cabinets, but up the top here we have tons and tons of boxes for vehicles, box figures. In the last collection tour you would have seen these figures ran all the way across, but they were blocking the AC unit in here and it was making the room quite warm. It wasn't getting the airflow it needed, so I've taken a few down. But you'll see up here we've got the box for the training tower, pursuit craft, the field commander, the intruder, a few other bits and bobs. A whole heap of boxed figures up here. I think all of these boxes actually have got figures in them as well. The armoured Jeep, the Land Rover, the Seawolf. Here we've got the 2 later issue Talking Commanders, the Space Ranger and kind of the Army guy. 2 more special team carded outfits, the Underwater Assault and the Ground Assault. I just need the Arctic Assault to get that whole set carded. Action Man SAS Airstrike Helicopter, the Scorpion Tank, the Space Capsule, the Motorbike and Sidecar, and the Assault Copter. And that Space Ranger sitting up there, the reason he is not in the cabinet and he's sitting alone is because that is actually one of my childhood Action Man figures, who is so play-worn, his joints are so loose, he can no longer stand up. So that I don't, because I lost him, well, I don't want to say I lost him, he was in the collection, but I forgot which one he was, and when I eventually found him again, I was like, right, he's going to sit in a very special spot, so I know that's one of my favourite childhood Action Man figures. And then on the end there, the very rare French edition of the Zorro outfit, which was never released in the UK. Now we come down to the Evel Knievel collection. We've got the chopper bike, the dragster, and the stunt and crash car. Down here, the Evel Knievel scramble van with the man himself and the stunt cycle. Nearly forgot what that was called for a moment. These I just put up yesterday. This is my collection of Masters of the Universe Origins. Very colourful line. I like having them here. So we've got Prince Adam and the Sky Sled, Beastman, Trapjaw, Skeletor, Evelyn, Orko that I just love. Excuse me. Teela, Manny Faces, Man at Arms, and He-Man. Then we come down to the first wave 1982 Action Force. We have the Naval Assault, the Australian Jungle Fighter. We've got the Mail Away Commander figure there in the AF3. The Commando, the SAS Squad Leader, the Parachute Regiment and Royal Marine. We've got the Mountain and Arctic guy there with the AF9 sled. At the back, we've got the Orange Frogman and the Deep Sea Diver in the AF7 diving platform. Arctic Assault, Ground Assault, Night Attack, or Night Assault. There's a complete German Stormtrooper. The one in the Indiana Jones shelf is missing the grenades and shovel. We've got the AF5 there with the Desert Rat, the Mission Pilot, and the Helicopter Pilot. And sitting here on the printer is my small collection of Fisher-Price Adventure people, because they were on the Masters of the Universe Origins shelf and they needed to be moved. I don't know where they're not going to live on the printer forever, but I don't know where they're going to go yet. Down here, some of my book collection, a lot of SAS books and stuff down here. But here I've got my set of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the classic collection. I have the 4 original Turtles, but I really don't like Ninja Turtles, the original Playmates ones. I'd much rather have these classic collection guys representing the Turtles in the collection. Some more DVDs, and then we've got the metal Rambo lunchbox down the bottom there, which has the thermos inside. Okay, now we'll move along here. This is kind of the library. I've got a lot of collecting guides here for G.I. Joe, Action Man, Star Wars, Mego. This is all toy related book media that I use when researching scripts and things like that. And here we have the Motu collection. First of all, we've got this beautiful Ninja figure down here that Jody sent to me and I was able to complete. We've got Point Dread here on the top of Castle Grayskull, and inside there I think you can see we spun around a little bit, but there is Cyclone that was donated to the channel by Keith Holmesley. We've got He-Man and Battle Cat, Skeletor and Panther, and Fisto and Stridor, with Zodak sitting atop Snake Mountain, and Zoar, however you pronounce it down there. Coming down here, some of the early figures. We've got Evelyn, Ram Man, Man at Arms, Stratos, and Teela. And then we have my favourite figure, Trapjaw, Triclops, Prince Adam, Orko, Beastman, and Merman. Down here, on either end of this shelf, we've got Buzz-Off and Stinkor, both very kindly donated to the channel by Keith Holmesley. We've got Faker on the Battle Ram and Manny Faces on the Attack Track. And then down the bottom here is basically 3 metal lunchboxes. I have a lot more Motu stuff. As you can see here, there's a Wind Raider. That collector's case is full of figures. There's Screech, Mechaneck, Leech. I just don't have the room to display everything. Okay, the Star Wars collection. I've been constantly buying bits and pieces for the Star Wars collection, so let's start over here. We have got the Rebel Troop Transport, a toy that I feel does not get the love it deserves, and it looks fantastic hanging from the wall. Above that, a vintage Millennium Falcon. That's all complete. It's got the training ball and everything inside. Here we've got the battle damage version of the X-Wing without the battle damage stickers. That's the way to acquire this toy if you can. We have the incredible AT-AT with a couple of snow troopers in the cargo bay, and Luke Skywalker hanging from his grappling hook belt underneath the main body of the AT-AT. An original white X-Wing. I have replaced the stickers on this. It's gone yellow. I might have to do some restoration at some point. It wasn't yellow when I acquired it about 5 years ago. Here we have a blue TIE Fighter, Darth Vader collector case at the back, the B-Wing, and the Death Star playset. Now let's move down to the figure shelves. So at the back there, I've got a carded Han Solo on an Empire card and Chewbacca on a Jedi card. In the middle there, The main heroes, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia and Chewbacca. My recent acquisition of the Dewback. I absolutely love this toy. I like the way it looks on the shelf. At the back there we've got the Tusken Raider. We have a Jawa at the front. Walrus Man. We've got the original C-3PO and R2-D2, so the solid dome R2-D2 here riding the Kenner Landspeeder. The Red Snaggletooth, R5-D4, the Gonk Droid, Hammerhead, Greedo, and a Darth Vader figure that was donated to the channel by Michael French from Retroblasting. And this shelf, probably two of my prize pieces in my collection, are my carded Bespin Luke and Yoda. They're two of my favourite figures from the vintage line. And underneath that we have Lando, we have Bespin Leia, very kindly donated to the channel by Michael French. We've got Yoda, we've got Bespin Luke, Bespin Han. That Luke and Yoda there is from the retro collection, but I like the fact that I can display the original figures as they came off the card and then use the retro collection to display them with the backpack. Then we've got kind of the bounty hunters here with the second edition R2-D2 and C-3PO with the removable limbs and the periscope. And then with the bounty hunters, Zuckuss, IG-88, Boba Fett, Bosk, Dengar, and Forlom, and a Forlom mail away at the back, or Forlom or Zuckuss. I always get them confused. So what? Shoot me. This shelf is all Stand Solo. I have a lot more Stand Solo, but again, space is a premium. So I picked some of my favourites here. So at the back, we've got the pop-up saber R2-D2 and the Yak Face from the Power of the Force line. Down here are my carded Han and Luke in Stormtrooper disguise with the loose versions of the figures and their coins, Blue Snaggletooth, and then a whole range of the Stand Solo droids. There are more than that in the collection, as you'll see down here on my kind of Hoth theme shelf, where there's a couple of the Astromech droids there and a Protocol droid from Stand Solo, along with FX7. That's a solid belly Tauntaun. I've recently purchased an open belly Tauntaun, but it hasn't arrived in the mail yet. I've got a couple of Rebel soldiers there. 21B, a modern Rebel soldier, which was donated to the channel by Sal from 2 Cents Toys. Hoth Leia, donated by Michael French. The retro collection Luke in Snowspeeder gear. Hoth Han, the Hoth Rebel Commander, Luke in Hoth outfit, the Wampa, and my favourite vehicle in the line, the Snowspeeder. Now moving along here, a bit of a Bespin setup. We've got the Slave 1 there with Lobot and the Ugnaught. Got another Boba Fett figure there. The Cloud Car pilot, a couple of Stormtroopers carrying Han in Carbonite, 2 Bespin guards, and Boba Fett's Astromech droid from Stand Solo at the back. Okay, in here we have the Darth Vader TIE Fighter that was donated to the channel by Michael French. Thank you very much, Michael. It's a treasured piece in my collection. Then at the front we've got the Emperor, Darth Vader, and 2 of the Emperor's Royal Guards. At the back there is another carded Stand Solo droid. At the front, some of the kind of Imperial Army, so a TIE Fighter pilot, Death Squad Commander, 3 Stormtroopers, Attack Commander and Attack Driver. And we come down to Jabba's shelf. So we've got the Jabba the Hutt playset there with the Stand Solo, a Man carded figure at the back. Squid Head. I'm not going to go through all of these guys' names because you know who they all are. The key thing to point out here is that a Man and Yak Face are Stand Solo reproductions. Everything else is original. Moving on to this shelf, that's an original carded 8D8 figure with a Stand Solo droids version of C-3PO at the back. The Rancor, along with the Yavin Ceremony C-3PO. A pop-up saber R2-D2 with the drinks carriage. The 8D8 action figure donated by Michael Schaefer. The Rancor Keeper that came from Michael French. I've got some good friends. Princess Leia in her bush disguise. Jedi Luke. We've got Anakin Skywalker at the back there. Amana Maul from Stan Solo. And Lando in his skiff guard disguise. And then we kind of get to our sort of Endor shelf here. So we have the ATST with its pilot. At the back there is an original carded Leia in combat poncho. We've got the box for the speeder bike. Prune Face, which was the last figure I needed for the collection, very kindly donated by John Baldry. Next to the Rebel Commando. We've got the B-Wing pilot, Akbar, Nine Num, General Madine, the speeder bike with pilot, the 4 Ewoks, aside from the Ewoks that came out in the last 17. I'm not interested in getting those. But there's Wicket that came from Michael French. Thank you, Michael. Along with Chirpa, Logray and Tebow. And Han and Leia in their Endor gear. Now we get down to the Black Series shelves. And at the back there, Forlom and Zuckuss, Boba Fett and Bosk. They're the 4 bounty hunters in the collection, so I've recently purchased IG-88 and Dengar to complete the set of bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back, but they haven't arrived yet. Then we've got Han in Carbonite, Leia in Bespin Escape. That is the Chewbacca and C-3PO Amazon exclusive 2-pack. Bespin Han, Bespin Luke, Lando, and Dagobah R2-D2 and Yoda. Then to a bit of a Hoth shelf with a Dagobah set at the back. So the 2-pack of Jedi training Luke and Yoda with the Tauntaun and Wampa that were donated to the channel. I've got a few Hoth Rebel troopers there, along with Snowspeeder Luke and Dak, Luke in his Hoth outfit, Leia in her Hoth outfit. And finally, the Imperial shelf. Grand Moff Tarkin, a figure that I just love, alongside this latest edition Black Series Stormtrooper, which is just an incredible, incredible figure. We've got a Sand Trooper at the back there, another Stormtrooper, and I think the one at the very back there, that's actually Han Solo in Stormtrooper disguise. I wish I'd never picked him up, that's a terrible figure. General Veers and Admiral Piet, the Attack Driver, the Snow Trooper, and the Probe Droid. Okay, try and get off my knees for a moment, it's starting to hurt. Up the top here we have got the Action Force 1982 headquarters. I would love to be able to display that, but again, space is a premium, next to a randomly positioned Muhammad Ali. It's a Mego Muhammad Ali, but it was sold in Australia by Ken Bright. Up here we've got the Max Fx Freddy Krueger, the complete doll, and obviously the boxed set. And then we come along to the $6 Million Man collection. So in the boxes I've got $6 Million Man first edition, Oscar Goldman, Bionic Woman and Maskatron, with a few accessory packs there. Then we have the Bionic Transport and Repair Station with the first issue Bionic Man, Maskatron, Bionic Man with the Critical Assignment arms and legs. We've got the second edition $6 Million Man. Then we've got 3 Steve Austin figures in the, I'm not going to remember the names of all of these now. Basically there's a skydiving one, there's Mission to Mars, and then there's the undercover outfit. The Bionic Woman that was donated to the channel by Alan Dawson, and the Bionic Bigfoot. Moving further along, just a few random boxed figures here. Got Mr. T, the Energized Spider-Man from Remco, and the Bandai Inspector Gadget. Up here we've got the Ghostbusters collection. I used to have the Savage Strike headquarters from the Rambo set here, but that's the kind of play set that you want to look down on to get the best angle of it, rather than having it up there and not being able to see the detail that's on the base plate. So this was an ideal location for the Ghostbusters. So we've got the 4 core characters there with the Ecto-1, the Firehouse, with Slimer, the green ghost peering through the window, and Mr. Stay Puft. Now we get to the Mingo Cabinet. This is kind of the Marvel collection. So the Green Goblin, Spider-Man, Falcon, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the 12-inch Incredible Hulk in the box and loose, and the 6-inch Incredible Hulk, or 7-inch, whatever he is, loose, carded and boxed. Yes, I have a bit of a thing for the Incredible Hulk. I have a window boxed original Spider-Man there and a carded Human Torch. There's also a Tarzan there. Okay, I know he's not Marvel, but he had nowhere else to go. Now we get down to kind of the DC shelf here. So we've got Green Arrow, Shazam, Robin. We've got Batman with removable cowl. We've got the Batmobile with the later edition Batman that doesn't have the removable cowl. Joker, Riddler, Superman. There's a die-cast Mego carded Superman at the back there. Aquaman, a carded Batman, a boxed Penguin at the back that you can't quite see. He's hiding behind the 12-inch Superman. And then down here we have got the Mego Star Trek. So I've got Kirk and Spock carded at the back. Scotty, McCoy, Uhura, Klingon. I don't remember that alien's name. And then this is one of the re-release, modern re-releases of the Vulcan. On the side there, we've got Starsky and Hutch carded and a boxed Action Jackson. That's kind of the Mego collection. All right, now let's take a look at Palitoy's Action Force and the pride and joy of my collection. I have the 2 carded SAS Squad Leaders, so the first issue and then the second issue with signed certificates here from Bob Breakin, because these were donated to the channel by Bob Breakin, who was the original chief designer and manager of the Action Force brand. And we have here the original metal prototype of the SAS Squad Leader. Here we have the resin prototype, and then a few test shots of the arms, the torso, and the head. I never ever thought when I started collecting almost 30 years ago that I would ever own a prototype. And I'm sincerely grateful when these do take a pride of place in my collection. Hey, now we move on to the Z-Force, and we've got the Z-Force Battle Tank, the Z-Force Captain, the Sapper, the Infantryman. We've got Quarrel and the Rapid Fire Motorcycle, the Radio Operator. We've got the Z-Force Battle Gear set at the back there, the Z-Force Flat Cannon with another Z-Force Captain. We've got the Jeep with a few figures in, including the mail-away Z-Force Commander. Moving further along, the Whirlwind being manned by Jammer, the very rare figure that came with the Z-Force Headquarters playset, which is not on display. It's too big, I've got nowhere to put it. And then, I don't remember the names of all these mini-rigs, but you can see there, that shaft I bought last year for the Z-Force video. It was brand new out of the box. I've assembled it and it has just literally fallen apart because the plastic is so brittle. But then we have the Dart and the Lance, and the Gaucho that also came with the Z-Force headquarters and was very kindly restored by my buddy Joseph. We have the Minesweeper figure and the Medic, and of course the very rare Action Force ATC, which is a major upgrade over the G.I. Joe APC. Then we've got the Space Force. So we've got the Triad Fighter. All of the kind of Space Force characters here. I particularly like the Space Engineer. That figure there is a custom redone of the Bombardier from the unreleased Special Team set. We've got the Satellite Defense there, the Cosmic Cruiser. And now we get down to the Q-Force shelf. So we've got the incredible Sea Lion vehicle that was designed by Brian Turner of Palitoy. The Swordfish. The name of this mini vehicle escapes me at the moment. In here we have a very, very rare. This is an original orange Frogman from the 1982 line that has been hand painted by somebody at Palitoy when they were kind of coming up with colour concepts for the Q-Force, and I'm very, very honoured to also have this in my collection, a hand-painted kind of test example of what the Q-Force colour scheme would look like. Now we get onto the red shadows. I've got the custom 12-inch red shadow at the back there that was donated to the channel. Actually, there's a few figures missing from here because they're down in the studio, but we've got Mutant, we have got the Hyena there with Red Jackal, the rare UK recolor of Destro. We've got the Shadow Track, the Kraken. There's a couple of Black Major customs donated by Scuba Pete. The Laser Exterminator that was donated by George Aitken, and excuse me, and the red laser figure which I purchased from Gary Atkinson, and a couple of the red shadows. Here we've got the incredible Robo Skull vehicle, and standing out the front of that is Skeletron, the exclusive mail away figure for 1984. Then we have the Red Shadows escape armor with a custom Black Major version that's been kind of vac metalized. At the back we've got the carded SAS weapons pack, in front of which we've got the Wolverine with the very rare Hunter figure, which is a UK recolor of the Cobra officer, with the SAS parachutist and the Shock Trooper, I want to say. Again, the name escapes me. Bear with me, guys, it's very hard to just keep walking around your collection and naming every single toy. I may make a mistake somewhere. Here we've got the SAS Squad Leader, the SAS Mobile Missile System, the Silent Attack that was donated by George Aitken, the box for which was donated by Gary Atkinson. The SAS Mission Pilot, another Squad Leader, SAS Commando. We've got the patrol boat there. We've got the stunning Panther Jeep being manned by Stalker, who's a UK recolor of version 1 Snake Eyes. And Hawk with blades. So Hawk is a UK recolor of the Cobra Fang, and Blades is a very, very classy recolor of the Tripwire action figure from G.I. Joe. Down here we've got my only 2 Transformers in the collection. I've got a boxed Optimus Prime and Megatron. Below that, the Hero Quest board game that was donated by Wesley Hendricks. Here we've got the A-Team shelf, so I've got the 3 3/4 inch set of 4 figures with the van and the boxed attack tank behind that, and then the 6-inch figures. I don't have any of the bad guys for either scale. Down here we've got a box for the Havoc and the Action Force Cobra Bunker. Rambo and the Force of Freedom. So I've got almost the entire first wave of this line. I think I'm just missing the Skywolf, I think it's called. So I've got the Defender Jeep there. I've got 2 of those, the other one's in storage. We've got Turbo, Colonel Troutman, White Dragon, Firepower Rambo, the basic Rambo, and Cat. And over here, the Savage team. So Mad Dog, Gripper, Black Dragon, Nomad, Sergeant Havoc, and General Warhawk with the Savage Strike Cycle. I've got the Skyfire Assault Copter in storage, and down here we've got a few boxes for these. This Savage Strike Cycle here is a mint sealed version. So I have the loose one there, but that box has never been opened. It's in immaculate condition, and the reason I acquired that is because I have a very fond childhood memory of getting that on a trip to Wales when I was about 10 years old, and some other G.I. Joe boxes. So that's pretty much the extent of this collection room. Although what I haven't shown you is downstairs in the studio. So we're going to go for a jump cut. I'm going to move downstairs to the studio. I'm going to show you the studio and the Lone Ranger collection. And welcome to the Analog Toys studio. This is where we film the videos. I have a black sheet on the wall there. That's just for when I want a black background. Most of the time I'm just sitting here on the plain kind of off-white background. I've got a Marvel Legends Punisher on the table that I recently acquired, and some other mail. This is the reason some of the red shadows were missing from the collection upstairs, because I'm getting ready at some point when the schedule allows to do somewhat of a video about Sal's amazing custom of this Red Shadows Jeep, along with some of the click and play the click and play diorama set pieces that he sent me. There's a whole heap more of those bits in the box there. But yeah, they don't normally live here. They're just kind of sitting there waiting to appear in a video. I've got a bank of batteries there that we use for the camera, and the Yeti microphone that I use for live streams. So I've got some soft lighting in here. Yes, this room is the spare bedroom in the house. I actually sometimes sleep in here. If I'm doing a live stream very, very early and I don't want to disturb Grace, I may sleep down here. This is the main camera that we make all the Analog Toys videos on. It's a Sony 4K digital camera. It's got all the kind of plugins that I need for microphones and things like that. With a Sony tripod that's got this very neat handle here that I can unplug, so I can do zoom in and zoom out shots there without the camera shaking. That was a piece that I purchased using some Patreon funding. I've also made the decision that we need a second camera here at Analog Toys, so I used some Patreon funding just last week to purchase another Sony high definition camera. It's not as it doesn't have all the bells and whistles like this one does, but it doesn't need to. It just needs to have good picture quality. So hopefully that arrives soon. I got it sent express, so I'm hoping to be here next week. Moving around, there's some more physical media over there and a spare tripod, but the main thing, toy-wise, is the Lone Ranger collection, which is down here simply because I have no more room in the collection room upstairs. Up here, we've got the Carson City playset that was donated by Scuba Pete. We have the Prairie Wagon box, a metal lunchbox for the Legend of the Lone Ranger. Here we've got the wooden Dodge City playset, an awesome playset. There's Butch Cavendish with his horse Smoke behind him. El Lobo, we've got the Lone Ranger there dressed as a bartender. We've got Tex Dawson, the Sheriff of Carson City. And then a Butch Cavendish doll dressed as a blacksmith. Moving down, now just in here is the remote microphone I normally use recording videos, and I keep my SAS beret and belt there just so that it's handy, because you never know when you need to wear your SAS beret and belt. Here we've got one of the smaller stable play sets with the Lone Ranger in a kind of a cowboy outfit. I don't remember the name of the outfit. There is Little Bear. Then we've got Tonto on his horse. The name of his horse escapes me. The Lone Ranger in silver. And Dan Reed, the long lost nephew of the Lone Ranger. Down on this last shelf, we've got the tribal TP at the back there in the box. I purchased that because I thought it would be a cool diorama piece, but it's actually a pain in the ass to set up. Then we've got Red Sleeves, one of my favourite figures in the whole line. Then we've got a Red Sleeves dressed in another accessory pack, kind of for a Native American outfit. A stagecoach robbery outfit that Tonto's wearing. And we've got a Butch Cavendish there dressed as somewhat of a trapper. Down here is just a hodgepodge of all different bits and pieces that I need for Analog Toys videos. Different diorama pieces, little bits of equipment and display stands and random things like that. Some cables that I use for live streams, I just keep them there. Very boring, but you know, this is also a functional studio, so I'm just going to turn this light around so you maybe can see a little bit better. And we go into the main storage area. And in here, here's basically the Analog Toys wardrobe. I've got all the different t-shirts that I wear. Batman, Masters of the Universe, what we got there, Avengers. We've got an Analog Toys t-shirt. These are all the different t-shirts that I always like to wear a pop culture themed t-shirt in the Analog Toys videos. I keep lots of original boxes in here. We've got the G.I. Joe Tactical Battle Platform. That toy's complete inside. So is the Z-Force Headquarters complete inside. But we've got the box there for the battle tank. What's that? Oh, that's the exclusive G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes. Got some board games here. So Indiana Jones board game, The Escape from Colditz, that was donated by Keith Knight. This is the 80th anniversary Marvel Legends Hulk that Sal sent to me. Trying to find a good location to display that. We've got a Sideshow 1/6 scale Cobra Commander there. This box, I believe, is full of carded Stan Solo figures. This is just a toy rifle that I've painted up as a bit of a prop. I've got a mint box sealed Bashosaurus, $6 million man bionic transport and command center. The Imperial attack base, that toy is complete inside. Mark's double agent from the 60s. And then all the way back there is just boxes, Star Wars boxes. C-3PO figure case next to a Mego Star Trek bridge playset. We've got the Black Series Stormtrooper helmet. Awesome toy, that. And that's pretty much it, guys, unless I'm going to start ripping boxes out. But another Black Series helmet there, so the Luke Skywalker's X-Wing helmet. Boxes for everything from Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain. There's the box for the Cobra Hydrofoil that Jody sent me. And all sorts of loose odds and sods down here. Box of comics, spare Star Wars stuff. What do we got? Complete G.I. Joe figures. I've got my original body armor there that I wore in Iraq. And that is pretty much the end of the updated tour for 2021. So thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, you can check out our Toy Histories playlist by clicking the link up here. Or to check out our Action Force playlist, you can click the link down here. Or you can subscribe to the channel by clicking this other link down here. I'm Tony from Analog Toys, and I'll see you in the next video.